Welcome to my class. Myself Janisha from St. Joseph Composite PU College, Vijaypur. I'm dealing with economics subject. In the last episode, we have discussed about the human capital formation along with human development. Today, in this episode, we are going to discuss about education sector in India detailed. Growth in government expenditure on education. Do you know how much the government spends on education? So we can observe the estimation, that is during the time of budget, right? We know that the government will spend money for education and health sector also, because in the previous section we discussed that a large section of population in India, so they are belongs to below poverty line, so they cannot afford a specialty care as well as what higher education. So in such cases the government will provide helps to those people by providing the education, basic education and also basic healthcare facilities. Then let me see what are the facilities, how the government will helps to the people and what are the benefits of this schemes and policies. We'll see in this episode. So that this expenditure by the government is expressed in two ways. One is as a percentage of total government expenditure and second one as a percentage of a GDP. So by the way of this two, so the government will spend money for education and health. One is percentage of total government expenditure, another one is a percentage of a GDP. So total government expenditure and GDP is two important expenditure which leads to what? Education and health sector. The percentage of education expenditure of total government expenditure, which indicates the importance of education in the scheme of things before the government. Say, so education expenditure of total government expenditure, which indicates that what? That is importance of education. So what is the importance of education and which scheme is suitable and which scheme the government will need to provide. So that should be depending upon the first expenditure. And the percentage of education expenditure of a GDP, which expresses how much of people's income is being committed to the development of education in the country. That means how many people are paying the taxes on time, because per capita income and taxes, which is contribution to the GDP, right? So education expenditure of a GDP, so that should be that contribution that is from the side of people. So how much of people's income being committed to the development of education in the country. So this is what the two ways of expenditures made by the government. During 1952 to 2014, education expenditure as percentage of total government's expenditure, that is increased from 7.92 to 15.7, and as percentage of a GDP, which increased from 0.64 to 4.13. See students here, so expenditure, what education expenditure, that should be what education expenditure as percentage of total government expenditure, that it should be increased from 7.92 to 15.7. Okay, and as percentage of GDP, that is increased from 0.64 to 4.13. So throughout this period, the increase in education expenditure has not been uniform and there has been irregular rise and fall. So that means here in this period, so we can say that increase in education expenditure is not been uniform or similar way. Okay, so there has been irregular rise and fall should be occurred. Elementary education takes a major share of total education expenditure, and share of higher and tertiary education means institutions of higher learning like colleges, polytechnics and universities is the least. So that elementary education which takes a higher or major share of a total education expenditure, okay, than the higher and tertiary education. Though on an average the government spends less on tertiary education. So in this comparing to elementary education, higher education and tertiary education, on and above the government spends less on tertiary education, and expenditure per student in tertiary education is higher than that of elementary education. So here major part of government's expenditure that is on for what? That is on for elementary education. In 2014-15, the per capita public expenditure on elementary education differs considerably across states from as high as rupees 34,651 in Himachal Pradesh and to as low that is rupees 4,088 in Bihar. See here, in the 2014-15, the per capita public expenditure on elementary education, this is differ considerably across the states from high as in 34,651 in Himachal Pradesh and it is low in 4,088 in Bihar. Yes, about 55 years ago, the Education Commission in 1964-66 had recommended that at least 6% of GDP be spent on education so as to make a noticeable rate of growth in the educational achievement. So about the 55 years ago only Education Commission, so that should be recommended that, what recommendation? That is at least 6% of GDP that is must what spent on education. Then only we can at least what improve the growth in the educational achievement. The Tapas Majumdar Committee appointed by the Government of India in 1999, which estimated an expenditure of around rupees 1.3 lakh crore over 10 years, that is from 1998 to 99 to 2006 and 7, which bring all Indian children in the age group of 6 to 14 years under the purview of school education. So, Tapas Majumdar Committee which appointed by the Government of India, okay, so which estimated that expenditure of around 1.3 lakh okay, crores over 10 years. So, that should bring all Indian children in the age group of 6 to 14 years under the purview of school education. So, all they are coming under the school education, that is from age group of 6 to 14 years. This is what the recommendation of Tapas Majumdar Committee. Compared to this desired level of education expenditure of around 6% of GDP, the current level of little over 4% has been quite inadequate. In principle, a goal of 6% needs to be reached. This has been accepted as a must for the coming year. So that what we spent 6% of GDP. So that should be what little over 4% has been quite inadequate. And the goal of 6% which needs to be reached, then it should be accepted as must for the coming years. So in this way we can achieve our success in the educational sector. In 2009, the Government of India enacted the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act, and which make free education a fundamental right of all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. So that in the 2009 Government of India, which enacted right of children. Here Free Education and Compulsory Education Act, and which makes them free education as a fundamental right of all the children in the age group of 6 to 14 year. So this is what the major contribution from what government. And also Government of India has also started levying a 2% education cess on all union taxes, 2% education cess, and the revenues from education cess has been earmarked for spending on elementary education. So what education cess revenue? So that should be earmarked for spending on the elementary education. So this is what the contribution of education sector in India, and also this contribution which helps to improve the human capital and which accelerating the economic growth. Okay students, so this is what today's session, and in the next episode we'll continue further. So now some exercise questions from this side. Number 1, what is the contribution of education cess? Question number 2, what is the major contribution of education sector in India? So these are the 2 questions you need to write and submit it on time. Thank you so much. We'll meet in the next episode.